Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of rawradianthealth.com, and I'm Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So it's Tuesday, and yesterday I talked about my top 5 power foods for the winter. And today I decided to talk about what are the 5 foods that I will not have on a raw vegan diet. And as you guys know, this is my opinion. It's from my own lifestyle, my own everything, but these are 5 foods that I don't include into my diet. Okay, so the first one is agave nectar. Agave nectar is used as a sweetener. It's a syrup. It's processed from the agave cactus or plant. And agave nectar, for the past few years has been really, been pushed on sort of by the natural health movement as a great alternative to sweeteners, especially for those that have insulin resistance and sugar issues. And it's funny because the first time I ever had agave nectar, which was a few years ago, I got really sick after. I'm very sugar sensitive, and I can always tell if something's wrong with something, usually by my reaction to the food. And normally if I have a sugar reaction, I start feeling like, my heartbeat's going up, and also I just start feeling kind of hot, kind of sweaty hot. and so I had agave nectar in something, and I was like, whoa, there's something really off with this stuff. And I never had it again. And then I guess in the past year, there's been a lot more information coming out that agave nectar is in fact very high in fructose. It's got as much fructose as high fructose corn syrup does. And fructose is very harsh on the liver, and it's no good for anyone's blood sugar, and it's not good for you. It's not good for your health at all. And so, and it's very sad that, they've been pushing it all these years on people that have sugar issues, and they're taking this stuff with, from, having confidence in what people are saying that it's good for you, and in fact it's creating more problems than good. Okay, so agave nectar is something to really avoid. And I just want to mention as well that, even though a product might be raw or it might be so-called raw, it doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you. And also too is be wary of products that are labeled raw, because there's no rules or guidelines or, an inspector going around to these companies and checking their products to make sure it's raw. The company, the manufacturer, decides, what they're putting on their label, and, they just put the word raw. That's all it is. It's just a word. It's not been certified in any way. Okay, it's not like when something's certified organic. It's not like that at all. So be wary of these products you buy, and listen to your body. Your body is like your number one guideline as to what feels great and what doesn't. Okay, so the second thing is namu shoyu. Namu shoyu is soy sauce, and it's a lot of raw foodists use it because it's not pasteurized, and it's fermented soybeans. And it's used as a condiment. Okay, a lot of Asian cuisine, they use soy sauces, all that. So namu shoyu is used in a lot of recipes and all sorts of stuff. And the problem with it though is that there's wheat added into it. Someone like me, I have a wheat allergy, and about 70% of the population has some sort of wheat allergy or sensitivity. And someone that's getting on, let's say, a raw food diet, someone that's been on, on a high raw food diet or 100% raw food diet, and they're still having that namu shoyu in their diet, it's like, and they don't realize that it's an allergen. And so it's like if you're going to go all that way to eat so well, make sure everything you eat is good, and that there is no possibility of eating something that might be causing a slight or a major allergic reaction in your body. Okay, so I stay away from the namu shoyu because it's got wheat in it. But the alternative to that is wheat-free tamari. Tamari is this kind of like the same thing as soy sauce, but it doesn't have the wheat in it. Okay, wheat is used a lot of times as a thickening agent, and so the tamari doesn't have wheat in it, and it's actually more of the traditional, what they used to make soy sauce. Okay, and so go with tamari. You can find an organic one, you can even find a non-pasteurized one, and I would go that way instead of the Namu Shoyu, and just make sure on the label that it says wheat-free and gluten-free. Okay, so the next one is Bragg's liquid aminos. Same kind of category as our Namu Shoyu and the tamari. Same kind of thing. It's got that salty, savory taste, and it's used as a condiment as well in a lot of raw food recipes. Now, the problem with Bragg's is that when it's actually made, there's a naturally occurring form of MSG that comes out in the process. MSG is not added into the liquid aminos, but it actually is naturally occurring as it's produced, pretty much, okay? And so MSG is a neurotoxin. It's the last thing that your brain needs, is to have neurotoxins from the food, okay? We already have enough pollution and stuff around us. Don't need it from the food. And if anyone's ever, you know, when someone was once on sort of like a standard American diet, there's plenty of MSG they were getting from a lot of food that they didn't even know. I mean, all fast food, everything, most processed food has MSG in it. And that's one of the big things you want out of your diet. And so again, you don't want to be on this beautiful, pure, raw food diet and have like naturally occurring MSG from your food. So instead of using the Bragg's, use wheat-free tamari. And the main thing is, like, when you see in your recipe books, like, you know, 1 tablespoon of Bragg's or 1 tablespoon of Namu Shoyu, just use 1 tablespoon of wheat-free tamari as the alternative. It'll taste the exact same, everything will be great, and it's much better for you, okay? So number 4 is kombucha, or kombucha, and pretty much I'm not a fan at all. I don't really, my view of it is I don't think it's got as much benefits as people put out it has, okay? How kombucha is made and prepared is by fermenting tea, black tea or red tea with sugar, and there's a culture being put in it, and it ferments it, okay? Now the black tea or the red tea has caffeine in it, okay? And it's like sugar tea that's being fermented. I don't see the point of this. It's, you know, years ago, I'd say about 15 years ago when I was in university, someone had given me a kombucha culture, and I used to make it, and I always questioned, like, I don't see how this is a health food, and it was not something that resonated with me. It's not something that I continued and I moved on from. But what I've noticed is that the stuff that you buy in the bottles are not fully fermented. You can taste the difference from making it on your own compared to buying it store-bought or in a bottle, okay? If there's any bit of sweetness, it's not fermented. And you're drinking sugar tea with caffeine in it. I mean, if you want those probiotics and you want something healthy, go with coconut water kefir, go with sauerkraut or cultured vegetables. I mean, have apple cider vinegar in your salad, things like that. But the kombucha with all that sugar and the tea, it's like, I don't think so. I mean, come on. So, and the final one is bulk bin nuts and seeds. Those have tons of mold and even like bugs and maggots and stuff, sometimes even some larvae. Years ago, I bought something from a bulk bin and I brought home moths, okay? My entire home was infested by this one little bag of like bulk bin seeds, okay? It's like, it got out and it got everywhere, and next thing you know it, I had a serious meal moth problem, okay? And that stuff's been sitting around for so long, you don't know what's in it. My advice to you is when you buy your nuts and your seeds, get them pre-packaged, okay? That they're fresh, they've not been sitting around for years, because that's how long they can be sitting around in those health food stores. All right, so those are my 5 foods to avoid or completely eliminate from your diet. Have a wonderful day, you guys. See you tomorrow.